represents all the Illinois basketball at the junior high, high school, and collegiate levels. Each year, the IBCA hires individuals with annual Hall of Fame inductions and Coach of the Year selections. In order to recognize school and team achievements, the IBCA honors basketball programs that have earned only the highest levels of success. Tonight, the IBCA recognizes only 9 Illinois high school girls basketball programs that have surpassed the 1,000 victory plateau. On December 27, 2023, Evansville High School became the 8th Illinois school to reach that milestone. Since the 1972-73 season, the Tigers have captured an unmatched 27 regional titles, 14 sectional crowns, and have made 6 trips to the EHS state tournament during a 4th place trophy and 2 runners-up finishes. Without question, Evansville High School can be included as not only one of the premier girls basketball programs in southwestern Illinois, but in the state. Those representing the Evansville Tigers girls basketball with the IBCA Hall of Fame are Coach Lori Blade, who was selected into the IBCA Hall of Fame in 2016. Longtime assistant coach Donna Farley, who was inducted in 2017. And Mary Suzanne Patton, who was inducted into the Hall of Fame as a friend of basketball in 2021. At this time, the IBCA congratulates Coach Young and Coach Katie Happy and all the Tigers players, coaches, and fans, past and present, on this achievement. Well done. a family-friendly atmosphere, and good sportsmanship. Disruptive and unruly behavior, foul or abusive language, and obscene gestures will not be tolerated. We remind you that the interscholastic events are an extension of the classroom, and that lessons are best learned when proper respect is accorded to all. Please let your good sportsmanship show during the game. Welcome again to this Southwestern Conference game between the Alton Redbirds and your Edwardsville Tigers. To honor America, please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem by Edwardsville High School Pep Band. Junior, number 3, Keilo Proctor. Sophomore, number 5, Kaylee Lacey. Junior, number 11, Caritas Orr. Freshman, number 12, Courtney of Correction. Senior, number 30, Alyssa Lewis.
I was supposed to pick this still.
Junior number 43, Talia Norman. And junior number 44, Darius Powers. The Redbirds enter tonight's game with an overall record of 18 wins and 1 loss, and are coached by Desiree Powers.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to tonight's varsity basketball game between the Alton Redbirds and your Edwardsville Tigers. I'm Zach Kennett, and tonight I'm joined by Austin Yearbook. Austin, how are we feeling on a momentous occasion like tonight?
Yeah, it's senior night not senior night, it is alumni night for this Tigers basketball program. It should be a great game overall. Number 4, Alton, coming in to Edwardsville. Can the Tigers knock off Alton from their throne?
Alton misses the first shot. Misses their second, too. Although that's Kalia Lacey who's been fighting for those boards early. Covered by Shapiro. Passes out, and Lacey's taking it back out. Passes in. That's Jarius Powers, and there's a whistle. And tell you what, after that hype video, after the lights went dark, spotlight went on, this bench is ecstatic.
Exactly, and that was a great move by Blakely Hockett right there. Edwardsville in the post is going to have to play almost phenomenal, almost perfect this game if they want to have any chance against this Alton Redbirds team.
Powers drives in, picks up her dribble, spin around shot, misses, and it's out. Shot is no good. And the Tigers fight for the board. They'll get possession.
It's going to come down to, can the Tigers get rebounds? Right there, Alton had about 4 offensive rebounds on that possession alone. Tigers going to have to do everything they can under the basket, play great defense in the post, and get as many rebounds as possible.
So the Tigers will have their first possession of the game. A minute in here, Neath takes it up. Off the pick by Hockett. Back out to Semeth. Ball is poked 3. It's a fast break point. Semeth is hounding her all the way, though. That's Norma has to pick up her dribble. Out to Lacey. Lacey lays in the 2. Lacey averages 7 points a night.
That was a real easy move for Lacey right there. Just got right past her defender and had an easy way right all the way to the hoop.
Spear at the wing. Out back to Hockett. To Semeth. Tigers leading scorer. Over Shapiro, trying to penetrate this Redbird perimeter defense.
This Tigers team is going to have their work cut out for them tonight. Number 4 ranked team in Alton. You don't just get up to number 4 by being average. They're phenomenal on both sides of the ball.
So Edwardsville will lose the dribble. The Redbirds regain possession. And right now the Tigers have been just trying to solve the Rubik's Cube that is this Redbirds team. But that errant pass goes out of bounds, and that's a lucky break. The Tigers are going to need to capitalize on those.
One of my keys to the game here for the Tigers was almost no room for error. Tigers are almost going to have to play a perfect game of basketball on both sides of the ball if they want to have any chance of beating this Alton team.
So Neath at the wing to Hockett. Hockett out to Shapiro. To Semeth, the sophomore. Puts up the 2, makes it to tie game.
That was a great move by Semeth there. Got her defender up near the 3-point line, just drove right by her all the way to the hoop.
So a backdoor cut by Kalia Lacey is good. As again, there's going to be a lot of unstoppable forces on this Redbird offense. It's just going to come down. I think that the Tigers are going to be a movable object.
What we're looking for is something like the boys did against Collinsville about a week ago, where they knocked off number 3 Collinsville, hoping that these Lady Tigers, can knock off number 4 Alton here at home.
It's only a 4-2 lead here, but Alton just looks like they've been outmatching Edwardsville all game. I think that's the 3rd Edwardsville turnover within the first 3 minutes of the game. As the senior shot goes out of bounds, that's number 30, Alyssa Lewis, whose pass or shot just wasn't where she wanted it to go.
And looking at the game right now, Edwardsville doing a great job boxing out, which is a huge to get rebounds.
Right.
It's going to be a full team effort. If everyone can box out their man, they should have the advantage on the offensive and defensive glass.
Well, I think so much of it, Austin, is going to be capitalizing on size disadvantages. A lot of the Alton players are bigger than us, but like you said, if we can box out successfully, we can get a lot of boards and get some good possessions off of that.
And that also comes down to playing with perfection here. They're going to have to play as close to perfection as possible if they want a chance. And with a couple turnovers in the beginning, they've been able to fade it so far, but we're going to see how that fares down the stretch.
Hockett to Shapiro. Shapiro dribbles. Tries to drive in, under the basket, over to Neath, over to Shapiro, a deep 2. Shots just long off the back of the iron. And immediately a pass to Alton Redbirds. I feel like my eyes couldn't even catch up to that play, Austin. It's a 6-2 game.
Great transition offense there by Jarius Powers. Got ahead of everybody and was able to get the 2.
So the Redbirds force the turnover, and they're driving up. And Hockett gets the steal, and she's driving now, full head of steam. The 2, it's good!
I like that by Hockett right there. She knew that Jarius Powers couldn't keep up with her, so she just decided to go straight to the hoop and got the layup.
Well, and that's what I love. Hockett does it all herself. She gets the steal, she dribbles down, full head of steam, lays in the 2 as there's a timeout. That'll be the Alton's first time out of the game. I think Alton might have expected to have a bigger win this early.
Head coach Desiree Howard probably isn't very excited or thrilled with how Alton is playing right now.
Right.
Only have a 2-point lead here with 3.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Obviously, they were expecting to come in here and shake some things up, but the Tiger faithful here, again, both boys and girls teams, I don't think I've seen very many losses here this year from either side.
Now, Austin, can you walk me through just how important this night is within the history of tonight? I know obviously we had that hype video, but maybe if you could specify some stuff for us.
Oh, it's a big night. It's alumni night. Every single Tiger who's thrown on the jersey for this girls basketball team being represented tonight.
As that's Talia Norman, who averages 8.6 a game, puts up a 2, 8-4.
It's definitely some big names in there, some current names who are playing in college right now. Kate Martin with the Iowa Hawkeyes having an amazing season. They're ranked number 3 in the nation. And then also Sydney Harris, a recent graduate from Edwardsville, having a successful season at TCU.
And McFarland puts up the 2, 8-6. The Tigers are not going away.
They've done good on both offensive and defensive. It's been a little bit of a struggle on the offensive side. They've turned the ball over a couple of times.
So a defensive miscue will lead to the Lacey drive. There's be a whistle, shooting foul, and Kalia Lacey will be sent to the line. She shoots well from the field, and the line 60% from the free throw. Maybe, there's a chance she only makes one of these, maybe misses both, and Tigers can capitalize. Lacey makes the first. But again, as you can see in our title for the stream tonight, it is our 1,000-win celebration. Now, the last game was not the 1,000th win, but it's the first time that the girls are playing at home while the school is in session to celebrate a win like this, as Lacey misses her second.
And to talk about that 1,000th win, I believe they won it in the Christmas tournament that they had. I believe it was their first win of their 6-game win streak. These Tigers are hot right now. Let's see if they can keep this winning streak and move it up to 7.
But it will not come easy, as Alton just played ferociously on both ends. But still, it's only a 3-point game as Neath takes it back out. 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. Shapiro dribbles over to Hockett, far out.
This play by the Tigers, it's sort of a isolation kind of stall play.
And Shapiro, again off that ISO, tries to do it all herself. Can't quite get the bucket to translate. But that play we've seen run so much to a lot of success.
Not only in the girls' game, but also in the boys' game. Both teams use that same style of play. Try to use as much time as they can off the clock.
Well, there's a whistle. So it's already Hockett's second foul of the game. She'll check out, but Olivia Kolensberg, who we see is sporting some facial gear, has checked in for what I think is the first time in a long time.
Olivia Kolensberg, believe, has a broken nose, and that's why she will be wearing the face mask. 2 seniors checked in for the Tigers, Olivia Kolensberg and Molly Peel. Definitely going to need that senior leadership down the stretch here.
And a deep 2 by the Redbirds. That's Jarius Powers, number 44, puts up the deep 2.
With only a minute left to go in this first quarter, it seems like time's been flying by.
Right. Yeah, there's been not a lot of whistles here. Only 3 fouls. Feels like a lot less. McFarland has it. She's stopped, takes it back out to reset. Into Neath. McFarland cuts in, wasn't open.
Yeah, Redbirds lead at 11-6 here, about 40 seconds to go. Tigers have done a good job milking a lot of time off the clock.
Well, and the Tigers, if they want to stay in this game, they need to force Alton to play how the Tigers want them to play. As there's another whistle.
They're gonna get the foul on Ellie Neath there. Very easily could have been a travel. It looked like she kind of slid her foot. Ellie Neath might have had a little push there to get her foot sliding.
30 seconds left in this first quarter. As it's Kyoko Proctor who misses the shot. And the possession arrow will go in Edwardsville's favor.
Every single Tiger boxed out there. And somehow Jarius Powers still ended up with the basketball in her hands. Tigers doing everything they can. Powers, definitely a big threat underneath the basket here tonight.
So one of the things we talk about with this team is lights out three-point shooting, but right now, not even a three-point attempted.
The Tigers have done a good job guarding perimeter defense against the Redbirds.
As the Alton faithful is unhappy about a whistle there, Austin, maybe you can explain their perspective?
It could have gone either way for the official. Might have been a makeup call for that travel call down here on the Redbirds side.
It'll be Semeth on the inbound to Neath. Couldn't quite cut in. Her momentum was certainly in that direction.
Yeah.
Swings it to Shapiro.
5 seconds on the clock.
Has to get up a shot. Semeth, does she know the time? Whistle. Buzzer will go. So an 11-6 lead for Alton. Tigers have not had much success from the field, but I'm sure they've slowed down this Alton offensive effort so far.
There's been games where Alton's ran the score up to 70, 80, even 90 points here this season. Tigers have them at 11, and that would put them on pace for 44 for the game. Definitely low scoring for the Redbirds, and it's going to be good for the Tigers. The closer they can keep this game, the better chance they're going to have to win it. Again, if you didn't check into that game last Friday night, Edwardsville boys beat number 3 ranked Collinsville. Hoping the girls can have that same kind of luck here tonight as they take on the number 4 ranked Redbirds. Alton 18-1 on the season, 6-0 in conference play.
Yeah, Alton's only loss has come to Peoria Notre Dame.
That is an academy as well, so I'm not 100% sure how all that goes in there, but I do believe that they can do some form of recruiting. So Alton, facing the toughest competition you can face in the state of Illinois.
Right.
Had their first loss, are 18-1. Some notable games. They pretty much played all similar. Oh, as they rush to the ball.
And can you maybe explain what happened here? As it looks like there was a miscommunication with the Alton bench. And I'm hearing some very vocal cries from the Redbird faithful and the Redbird bench as the refs are going to explain what happened here.
Desiree Howard very upset there with the call that the refs had made. Looks like they're going to revert the call. It seemed like the refs tried to hurry Alton out of the quarter. Never seen that before in all my time watching basketball.
That's a new one. As Semeth has it now. Again, these defensive stops have to be constant and they have to result in points. As we see, as Edwardsville's been in a little bit of a scoring drought here. As Semeth has it out at the point. Shapiro can't break her coverage. Pass to Peel.
Points are going to be very hard to come by tonight for the Tigers. Going to have to earn every single basket they get. Again, we're Alton. Seems like they can kind of have their way with the Tigers.
Neath makes the shot. 11-8 game. Neath just drives in. Alton can't quite get their defense set in time. And Ellie's just so lethal with those driving layups.
That was a great move by Neath. All the way in. Got it to go off the glass. Get the 2. Get your team within 3. 1 possession game now for the Tigers.
I just checked Austin. Right now we have 20 concurrent viewers on this stream as Haynes makes the 2. 20 viewers, that's a pretty good number. especially on a great night like this. I'm happy we could share it all with you folks at home. As Neath calls Shapiro for the swing. Shapiro at the logo. Over to Kolensberg again in the mask. Neath looking to create as Peel cuts in.
Tigers letting the clock drip here. Got 6 minutes left in this half. Again, if you watch the Collinsville game, neither team played any basketball for about 4 minutes in that game. It was an oddity of a game. I don't think Alton's going to be doing that same thing here tonight.
So it'll be Lewis inbounding it off the turnover, but Coach Brian Young's been calling a timeout here. Tigers have only scored 2 points in the quarter. 2 points. That's ended a drought that was extending about halfway through that first quarter. Tigers are needing to get shots up, especially as the Redbirds have a 5-point lead here. Got to make sure Alton doesn't pull away.
The Tigers right now sit at 9-9 on the season. They are 4-2 in the conference, which is kind of impressive when your 2 losses are to 2 top 10 teams in the state. Again, 4 of the 9 Edwardsville losses have came to top 20 teams in the state of Illinois. There's hundreds of of high schools in the state, and 4 of the losses come to top 20 teams.
And the Orange Rush is irate after that whistle. That'll send number 44, Jarius Powers, to the line. As we see Peel check out for Laney McFarland.
Powers just asserted her dominance under the basket. Strong take up to the rim, and she got the foul.
And a rowdy crowd does not dissuade Powers' presence from the free throw line. We're seeing some barking, some screaming and some yelling, trying to break her tempo to make her miss, but no luck.
Anything you can do as a fan standpoint when they're at the stripe, that's exactly what you want to do.
Neath gets the shot, makes the three, 16-11. Could have been a 4-point play. Contact maybe didn't get called there.
Tigers are definitely going to need 3-pointers to get them back in this game and start to chip away at Alton's lead.
So it's Proctor, takes it all the way around. That's Lacey with the shot. She gets it long. And Edwardsville will get the ball. And that Tigers bench is just ecstatic right now. Their energy is maxed out. They are in it. It's a 16-11 game, 5:12 left in the second quarter.
I love that play there by Laney McFarland. Dared Lacey to shoot the 3, and she missed it. And then they got an over-the-back call on Powers. That's exactly what you want to do as the Tigers. Get the bigs into foul trouble.
To Kolensberg. Loses her dribble.
Tigers are definitely going to have to take care of the ball on the offensive side.
Norman's shot's no good. Kolensberg with the board. Neath takes it up. All the way over to McFarland. McFarland. Back out to Kolensberg. Shapiro. Kolensberg's pick is aggressive and it works.
Edwardsville's last home game, I remember Laney McFarland was in foul trouble. Didn't really get to see her get going. I would love to see her get going in this one.
Neath. Into the paint. And it's McFarland.
Semeth had the size advantage on Laney underneath the basket.
To Lacey for 3. Sinks it. It's a 19-11 game here, and Alton now has the 8-point lead.
Lacey right there was like, if you're going to give me that shot all game, I'm just going to make it right there. Again, McFarland didn't guard her the first time and the second, and she got burned on the second one.
All right.
Redbirds taking an 8-point lead.
Neath to Kolensberg. To Semeth. Can't quite break her coverage.
It is interesting to see when a top 5 ranked team comes into town. They're just simply bigger and faster than us.
Yeah.
Tigers, Gonna have to play to near perfection. Have had a couple turnovers, and I feel like that comes down to where the game is at right now. Redbirds have an 8-point lead, and I would bet that they have about 8 points off turnovers.
Neath goes down hard on the layup. That'll send her to the line. She'll shoot 2. Neath 5 points on the night, is by far the Tigers' leading scorer, and it won't be called from the line. The Tigers will instead rebound it, so it goes from a shooting to a on-the-floor foul.
This is one thing my mom definitely gets really irate with in women's basketball. They don't seem to ever get continuation, whereas in the men's game, that definitely would have been a foul on the shot. Ellie Neath, obviously in frustration as well, didn't get the shooting foul.
Tigers will keep possession, as McFarland had a little trouble with the dribble there. Fierce defense poked it out.
Redbirds still lead it by 8, 3:15 to go here in this second quarter.
And we'll do it again. Neath over to Kolensberg. This time the play continues. And McFarland, just a pure offensive miscommunication. And I think we've seen some rust from Olivia Kolensberg. A couple miscues, some fouls from her early. Again, this is her first game in a while, as Lydia Struble will check in for Olivia.
Gabby Cook is actually checking in. No, you're all good, Zach. No, Olivia Kolensberg had her hands to the sky on that play. A little miscommunication.
Yeah. It's Lewis's shot, no good.
The Tigers are taking care of the ball on defense, but they haven't been able to do so on offense. They've had a lot of stops on defense and held this Redbirds team to 20 points, 19 to be exact, in this first half.
Neath takes it slow again. We've seen all game this pace of play. The Tigers are just trying to slow it down and control the game. As this pass McFarland works. Into Gabby Cook, and she is ecstatic after making that physical 2.
I see you, Gabby Cook. That's a sophomore right there, going up against Jarius Powers, a senior. Jarius Powers getting offers from some major schools. I can't remember them off the tip of my tongue. But for a sophomore to go up there and say, you're not going to do that to me, and get the and one, very impressive.
And she makes the free throw, 19-14. Gabby Cook, the most excited I've maybe seen any Edwardsville player in some time. I mean, she was just, I can't even put it into words. Redbirds were inbound here. There's a whistle on the floor. Players look confused.
A little miscommunication by the referees, I do believe.
So we'll do it again. That'll be Proctor on the inbound. She changes place with Lewis. Shot way out to Lacey. She sinks it. She's been making those open threes now.
That's 2 times now. Lainey McFarland left her wide open on purpose. That's her 3rd time leaving her open on purpose. She's nailed 2 of them. Gonna have to start playing defense on 3 against Lacey.
Yeah, you got to think in halftime in the locker room. Coach Brian Young to be making some adjustments on how to guard, Kalia Lacey.
And if I had to take a guess, Lacey's 3-point percentage probably isn't the best if they're leaving her wide open on 3. But she's decided to nail 2 right there for the Redbirds.
Shapiro gets in, way over to Smith. Smith has to get up to get it. Puts up the 2, and there's a whistle, and she's got the and one.
It's a great move by Semeth there, and to get the foul as well.
Count the basket. Fouls on.
Semeth 4 points on the night. Now looking for 5th from the line.
1 shot.
Make it a 3-point game.
What happened there, for all of you who aren't really in tune with basketball, Powers picked up her 3rd foul. You only get 5 in a game. Powers gonna be sitting the bench for a lot of this time to start this second half.
Again, Powers, has been the most dominant force in this Alton paint. So to see her in some foul trouble early, that's huge for Edwardsville's chance of winning here. As the triple covered shot's no good. Tigers now on the fast break. We haven't seen many of these today. Neath has to pick up her dribble. She's in trouble. Gets it over on the fast break. It's Alton. For 2. Proctor misses. McFarland with the board.
That block by Semeth was amazing right there. Proctor thought she had a wide open look, and Semeth just denied it. Tigers have had great stops on defense. Can they turn that into offensive points? Maybe get this to a 2-3 point game at the half.
Yeah, only a minute left here. 5 points, 22-17. The Tigers need to go into the half with this being a one possession game left.
And what I will say, the Tigers look a lot more confident with Powers sitting on the bench. Powers being the dominant force for this Redbirds front.
And a very physical play.
It's going to send Molly Peel to the line for 2 free throws. I believe it was a foul.
And it's Peel that the foul
They got
is on.
the foul on Peel.
And this has been a very large, very emotional Tigers crowd tonight, and they are upset, to put it mildly, at that call.
Tigers not going to let Alton dribble this ball out to end the half.
Proctor can't beat Shapiro into the paint. And it's a foul called on Alton, and the Tigers will have the ball for probably the remaining bit of this game, as I'm sure they want to drain out this clock as much as they can.
Tigers are probably going to run an isolation offense till they get a perfect shot. And if that means holding it down to the last shot, that's what you got to do.
And again, today we've seen what's traditionally a fast-paced 7 seconds or less almost offense, as Neath takes it in, has slowed itself down. Peel for 3. He makes it! He makes it! I'm excited. Austin, you're excited. The crowd's excited. The bench is excited. It's a 2-point game. 5 seconds left. Proctor. Shot's no good. Can't get the shot off.
Tigers down 2 in the half. That's exactly what you want if you are the Tigers. That was a very, very veteran shot by Molly Peel. Drill a nice 3 from the corner. Get your team within 1 possession going into the second half. Powers with 3 fouls going to be a huge problem for the Redbirds with her sitting on the bench, not wanting to pick up that 4th and 5th foul.
Austin, we are playing the 4th-ranked team in the state. Going into the half, it's a 2-possession game. We have answered them while we're playing defense, or 2-point game, excuse me. We have answered them on defense. We have fought them on offense. And no, we haven't been as fast break oriented as we would have liked, but we've adjusted our game. We've seen success because of it. And right now, that's why we're playing so well.
And I've been Austin Yamnitz, and
I'm Zach Kennett. We will see you on the other side of the half. Thank you so much. 9 minutes.
Let's meet our alumni. Missy Sanders, class of 1991. Jen Housechild, class of 1991. Jen and her husband reside in Ellisville. They have 2 sons in college, and their daughter Kaylee is a freshman at EHS. Jen works as an occupational therapist at Alton Memorial Hospital. Dr. Kim Jackson, class of 1993. Dr. Jackson held scoring record for almost 20 years at EHS, All-State, and had the pleasure to coach every girl but one that surpassed me. Angie Seals, class of 1992. Katie Hoppy, class of 2011. Former EHS head coach and player. Katie Venus O'Neill, class of 2003. Tracy Street, class of 1977. April Chapman, class of 1992. Kim Shapiro, class of 1998. Kim is the mother of the EHS basketball player Sophie and Liberty basketball player Serena. Covington, class of 2014. Part of the 1,000 point club, got second place finish at state in 2016 and went undefeated in conference play all 4 years. Sue Walker, class of 1986. Barb Anderson, class of 1980. JoJo Brooks, class of 1974. Retired. Anya Covington, class of 2008. Also part of the 1,000 point club, a 3-year captain, all-state in 06, 07, and 08. McDonald's All-American nominee and went on to play University of Wisconsin, earning Big Ten honors. Played professionally overseas and is the current girls basketball coach at Liberty Middle School. Dr. Leah Jason, class of 2014. Graduate of Howard University College of Pharmacy. And Caitlin Morningstar, class of 2023. And finally, Ella Cook, class of 2023. Thank you, ladies. Let's hear for it one more time. The Alumni, EHS girls basketball, giving 1,000 wins in the program.
All right, folks, and we are back from the half. Again, we've seen the Tigers have been playing a very close and ferocious game against the number 4 Alton Redbirds. It's currently 22-20 as we count down into the second half. Austin, what did you see that went so well for the Tigers in that first half that needs to continue here?
His defense, 100% defense. Tigers have had a lot of stops on defense. But one thing I would say the Tigers need to work on is taking care of the basketball. Had a lot of errant turnovers. Didn't need to have those. And if you quit them, if you don't get those turnovers, you're probably winning this basketball game.
So as we saw in the half, we celebrated, again, as this is alumni night, some Edwardsville alumni. Caitlin Morningstar was one of the alumni that was able to come here tonight, class of 2023.
And just because it's alumni night, it's not only the celebration of the alumni here, but also the celebration of all Edwardsville women's basketball alumni. Great night. And hopefully the Tigers can pull it out here in the second half.
So walk me through this. We're seeing Powers already on the court, but again, we saw her have 3 first half fouls. She was riding the bench for that second half of the second quarter, and we saw the Edwardsville offense explode.
Now, one thing I want to see, I would love the Tigers to go right at Powers here every single opportunity they get. And if Powers ever gets the ball, try to take a charge. Anything you can to do to get her in that 4th foul, that's what you want for the Tigers.
There's a whistle there. Lacey drives in. And the Redbirds will inbound it. It's Alyssa Lewis.
Tigers got 2 quick fouls there. 30 seconds through this third quarter. Tigers still down 2. Again, I want to see the Tigers go at Powers. Get her 4th foul.
Over to Lacey. Shot's no good. With the board put back, it's Talia Norman.
Norman was not boxed out there, and she just drove in right underneath the Edwardsville girls, stole the rebound, and got the putback.
Now, a question I had going into the second half is, are we going to see Olivia Kolensberg make her appearance? We saw some rust from her in that first half. We're going to see how she does if she gets any minutes here in the second half.
The Tigers trying to option to take a lot of time on this clock. The Redbirds, unlike Collinsville in that boys game, are not going to give them free minutes off this clock. Tigers are going to have to work for every minute they take off this clock.
Neath is taking it out. I don't think this Alton bench is happy with how much time the Tigers are taking, and that will be an out-of-bounds call. Tigers will retain possession. The pass went straight back to Redbird Talia Norman as her foot just came off the baseline there. That's going to be a whistle every time.
Tigers came away with a blessing there. Hockey got viciously blocked down there by Norman. We're able to keep the ball.
McFarland for 3. Too long.
It was on line, just a little bit too strong.
As it's Kyoko Proctor who makes the 2. No contest there as Alton has started this half white hot.
That was an impressive shot there by Proctor. Pull up, nice mid-range jumper. It's a lost art of today's basketball.
Shapiro, almost double team there. Seventh for 3, sinks it. Mia Seventh now has 8 points on the night. 8 of the 23 that this Edwardsville offense has put up. Leading scorer, usually the leading scorer tonight.
They're going to get the foul called on Hockett there. Looked like Powers just dribbled it off her foot. Said they got the foul on Hockett.
Hockett, the second Tiger with 3 fouls on the night.
Yeah, her and Ellie Neath with 3 fouls. Gonna have to be careful. You definitely want to get Powers her 3rd foul, but you don't want to get your 3rd in the process.
As it's Alyssa Lewis who sinks the 3. We see her make almost 50% from beyond the arc, and she's been lethal tonight. Takes it in. Hockett. Pass is stolen by Alyssa Lewis.
Hockett trying to make up for her mistake on offense.
Over to Proctor. Covered by Shapiro. Shapiro, we have not seen much from her on defense, as we're accustomed to. As Austin, did you see a travel there?
I do believe I saw a travel. She got down on her knee. Unless she retained her dribble through that entire possession.
Semeth boxes out for the board. Over to Shapiro. 29-23 here, as the pass is just not there. Leading pass to Proctor, has to pick up her dribble. Shot's no good. Talia Norman misses her shot, gets her own rebound, puts it back 31-23, 8-point lead for Alton.
I wouldn't be surprised if head coach Brian Young takes a timeout here. Edwardsville's turned it over 2 or 3 times now. Definitely not something you want to do on the offensive side, especially against a top-ranked team. Remember I said you got to play with perfection in games like this. Throwing those errant turnovers is not going to help.
Over Shapiro. Shapiro for 3. Shot's no good. Hockett gets the board though. And it's physical. There's a whistle in the paint, and the bench likes that.
They're going to get the reach-in foul on Norman, I believe.
Talia Norman, her second.
Gabby Cook had a great first half, had that and one. Only a sophomore coming back in the game. Hopefully she can get something sparked for this Tigers offense.
Denise off the pick. Defense gives her some space. Now she's double teamed. Tries to get in. Puts back beyond the arc. Into Gabby Cook. Cook can't quite get it. And it's going to be Redbird basketball.
Lewis, arguably one of the better defenders on this Redbirds team, almost forced the turnover on Neath. Caused Neath to throw an errant pass to Gabby Cook. Taking care of the basketball is going to be a huge thing down the stretch for the Tigers. And 4 minutes to go here in this third quarter.
Over to Powers. Powers' shot is long. And the possession error will go in Edwardsville's favor.
Powers not so great from distance. Definitely a threat under the basket, but her range is limited as she misses that too.
Neath takes it up slowly, trying to remain in control as much as she can in a game like this. Semeth wanted to shoot it. Instead passes it. It must have been tipped by Norman because that pass went straight to the crowd.
And you can see frustration all over the Tigers' faces. Again, not really in sync, have had a lot of errant turnovers.
Oh, and McFarland's shot had the great look, had the spin, it just rattled out. That's one of the unluckiest breaks I've seen tonight.
And I could tell you that ball touched every single part of that rim before it went out.
Yeah.
And there's that timeout by Brian Young as things start to slip away for the Tigers.
Yeah, the Tigers have only managed 2 points 5 minutes into this third quarter. And I think this Edwardsville crowd, it's an Edwardsville team, this Edwardsville bench is just frustrated.
Frustration and a little bit, they seem a little deflated now. A lot of frustration on people's faces definitely isn't helping. This Tigers team is gonna need a spark. Again, this team can go on a run. They were down as many as 7 points in that first quarter, or in that first half, and they got it back to 2. This team is a team of runs. If they can go on a good run here, they could hopefully get it to be a lot closer down the stretch.
But speaking of runs, it's 11-2 for Alton to open this half. And Brian Young needs to make sure after this timeout, it's a complete reversal of roles for this Edwardsville squad. Edwardsville already 3 fouls in this third quarter, as they need to answer some questions that look solved at the end of the first half.
One thing I do want to say here, Zach, is that I respect the people down on the scores table. They didn't play any music during that quarter, or during that timeout. Really let the Tigers think about what they've been doing on offense. It hasn't been pretty. Hopefully Brian Young has devised a plan to get these Tigers back in it.
And speaking of music, not to say if I was biased, but if I'm the Edwardsville scorers, I'm setting up some speakers right behind the Alton bench, making sure they can't hear themselves think in the timeout. But I don't know, that's just me. Over to McFarland. McFarland for 3. Again, McFarland just hasn't had it from 3.
McFarland had her feet drifted, never really got set, and you can see that shot just completely drifted away from the hoop.
Deep 3, she sinks it, 36-23. That's number 3, Kyoko Proctor with the 3.
Alton smelling blood in the water here against the Tigers. This happened in the first matchup they met up. Tigers led it by 1, I believe, and then cut down 17 real quick. Alton trying to do the same thing they did at their home court.
As there's a whistle.
Fouls on Alton Kalita Lacey, her first.
Lacey's first foul. I think the Alton Redbirds need to be getting into foul trouble if Edwardsville needs to stay in this. Shapiro's over in the coffin, but it's over to Simmons. Physical too, she makes it. Second basket for Edwardsville of the half, makes it 36-25, still an 11-point game.
And what I will say, Molly Peel checked in the game. Maybe she can be the spark for this Tigers offense. She had that 3 at the end of the first half. They got it to be a 2-point game. Let's see if she can start something up for the Tigers here in the third quarter.
Shapiro has not had much of a presence tonight as that errant pass goes straight out of bounds. And now it's number 21. 11 or, yeah.
The problem that the Tigers are having here on offense is that they simply need to play to near perfection. They've been playing fairly decent, but nowhere near perfection. On defense, I would say they're playing amazing on defense.
Right.
They've held this Redbirds team significantly under what they're normally scoring. But on the offensive side, the Tigers haven't been able to get anything going. And that could be a testament to how bigger and stronger and faster the Redbirds are. This is the number 4 ranked team in the state of Illinois. Definitely can't bat an eye to them. They've won 18 of their 19 games.
As Proctor tips the pass, makes the transition layup, 38-25, a minute to go in this third quarter. We do have a little comment, a suggestion for this girls basketball team from the one, the only Daniel Yamnitz, one of our most favorite commenters, for no bias at all, from Austin. But again, he says that Edwardsville needs to be playing the full court press that has been so successful for them, as Proctor gets another steal. Peel does tip it in the paint, and she forces Edwardsville basketball.
Peel doing everything she can to keep this Tigers team in it. Force the turnover there. Tigers simply haven't been taking care of the basketball on the offensive side.
Neath now.
A lot of unnecessary turnovers for the Tigers.
Yeah, that's really been our bane today, as Peel passes it low. Semeth over to Neath. Neath dribbles, double teamed. Peel's open, way far out. Over to Shapiro. Jukes in. Shot is way too long from mid-range. Just moved too quickly there.
20 seconds to go here in this third quarter.
As Powers, again, has been questionable, to put it delicately, from range. Misses the shot. Maybe the break the Tigers need to maybe put together a run here. As we Semeth with the inbound.
Now it is going to be very, very difficult, but the Tigers are going to have to play even better than perfection come this fourth quarter.
As that will be difficult, as Powers got the steal. And Proctor, who's just taken over this third quarter, tried to get the buzzer beater off, couldn't get to go. But we saw what was a 2-point lead for Alton turn into a 13-point lead for Alton. It's now 38-25 going into this fourth quarter of play.
11-point swing there for the Redbirds. And I would like to go off what my dad said as well.
Right.
The full court press, that has always worked for the Tigers. It's their bread and butter, but they're not running it here against Alton. It could be due to the speed and athleticism of this Redbirds team. Again, if the other team is more physically athletic than you, they're going to have an easier time breaking the press. And Tigers, amazing on defense so far in this game. The offense has been questionable, to say the least.
Yeah, speaking of offense, Sophie Shapiro, again, only an underclassman. But we usually see her so dominant on defense. Tonight, she has been struggling to make a mark on this game. Still, she's on the court, and the Tigers just need to be locked down on defense. They need to be 110% on offense from the field. Every break has to go their way. It has before, and it needs to right now.
27 at the end of the third quarter of the boys' game in Alton. Edwardsville leads 36-27 in the boys' game.
Interesting thing to note there, the boys currently lead the Alton Redbirds 36-27 at Alton. Again, Edwardsville did win that game at home. The boys team did.
Oh, a very low arcing shot there. Gets it in almost a line drive straight to the basket. Makes it 41-25. Over to McFarland for three. She finally gets one to go. Lainey McFarland makes it 41-28.
What I want to see here is how can the Tigers respond? The Redbirds put up some big numbers in that third quarter. How can the Tigers respond to give themselves a chance?
And there's a response as Shapiro's taking it up, looking for her first basket. And that's going to be...
It's going to be an and one right there for Shapiro. Or tried to get her feet set. The referee did not give her the call. And that's going to send Shapiro to the line for another free throw.
So Shapiro finally gets her first basket of the game, looking for her third point on the night. She'll be shooting one. Just short. It's off the front of the iron as Powers gets the board.
One thing I was kind of frustrated to see in that third quarter was that they didn't go at Powers. Powers had 3 fouls in the first half.
Speaking of Powers, she does miss her shot, but it's Talia Norman who puts it back. 13-point lead. And again, the Tigers have just under 7 minutes to make this comeback a miracle. Neese drives in on the baseline. She stepped out of bounds before she could pass it. It's Redbird basketball. Had the right idea, but Norman was just too physical in the paint, and Neese just couldn't get around her.
And I saw some hands on heads from the Tigers bench. A lot of frustration still boiling over from that third quarter. Tigers gonna have to do everything they can to stay in this game. One thing I want to see is how can they respond from adversity. Nothing went their way in the third quarter. Can they respond?
As Lewis sinks the three, makes it 46-30.
And it's hard to do that with a very great team in Alton, ranked number 4 in the state.
So McFarland over to Shapiro. Back to McFarland from the wing. Takes it out. And that pass is not what she wanted to do. Lainey McFarland has looked a bit unsteady in this game so far, as it'll be Lewis inbounding.
Clock dripping away. Tigers gonna have to get pretty much every stop on defense, and that's extremely difficult to do against a really good team in the Redbirds. Gonna have to do their part on offense as well.
And I think this game is something I've seen in college a lot sometimes, is that, you know, maybe sometimes a very highly ranked team will play a very close first half, but they'll pull away in the second just because they can just keep up more than the other team, and I think that might be what we're seeing tonight.
And you definitely have to give a testament to how good Alton's defense has been playing. The Tigers have seemed confused the entire game. They've had a lot of unnecessary turnovers, which you got to give credit to the Alton defense.
Neath to Shapiro, who drives in, gets the whistle. Looked like she was trying to do anything to get a basket there. If he does get the foul called, that'll send her to the line for the second time tonight.
Fouls on Alton, Talia Norman, her third, team second. Shooting 2.
Shapiro misses her first.
And I'm wondering if the referees are going to review this. That clock ran about 30 seconds ran off the clock while Shapiro was standing at the stripe.
Yeah, I think
they got to
add some back.
They're going to add some clock back here.
You know what I think it is, Austin? We have broadcaster Tennyson Rose down there. He must have been causing some mayhem, wreaking some havoc, and I think that's who we got to put it on.
Shapiro's first free throw didn't go.
Second one didn't go either. To Neath, passes tipped though, deep 2, sinks that one, 48-32.
Timeout Edwardsville.
Edwardsville's been calling a timeout to take advantage of the momentum they might have gained there.
Not exactly where you want to be right now if you are the Tigers, but you are still very much in this game. 5 minutes is a lot of time. Again, they're going to have to get almost every stop on defense, and they're going to have to start making some threes, or at least getting some open looks against this elite Redbirds defense.
Right now it's Semeth who's leading scoring here. 10 points on the night. We usually see her average around 12, 13, 14. So not necessarily off pace for Mia. Under 5 minutes to go here, 48-32, Alton lead. And it looks right now as we see Geese King come in that we might be doing some different looks here as time is just slipping away from Alton. Yeah, Kennedy Geese King.
Kennedy Geese King, a freshman for this Tigers team, has had some limited minutes. Obviously, being a freshman, you're not going to get to play as much as you would like, or as much as you will, obviously, come senior year. And the Tigers have one of every grade level on the court right now. Freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
That's analytics there. As Proctor makes another, that's going to be her 13th point on the night. She has just been scoring from everywhere.
And Zach, I think you said it best when you brought the reference to college basketball, where a top-ranked team might run it close in the first half, but they start to pull away, and that comes from elite defense and then just starting to make their shots on the offensive side.
Right.
Alton, I would say, is shooting about 25% in that first half. Come second half, they've turned it around and got back up to like 40%, 50% from the field.
Yeah, Tigers they're a good squad, but have struggling to keep pace all game. Peel's shot is blocked, and it's stolen by Proctor. She's done everything everywhere. Lays up a gorgeous 2.
Tigers down 20 now. 4 minutes on the clock.
And you got to think this Tiger squad is just exhausted. Pocket checks back in. Haven't seen her at all in this half. Did see her open this game. Semeth tips the pass, maybe intended to Neath, was a bit unclear. Neath takes it out slow. Shapiro, crossover to Neath. Tries to break in, drives, puts up a running 2, shots off. Just left of the iron.
What I will say is I believe this Tigers team is better than their record states, sitting right now 9-9 on the season, about to be 9-10. Don't want to speak too soon,
right,
in case the Tigers pull off a miracle here. But right now sitting 9-9 on the season. 4 of their 9 losses came to top 20 teams. Those are the best teams in the state of Illinois, and they have 4 losses. Again, I believe this team is an above 500 team.
And again, Austin, this is a team that has had to answer a lot of questions going into this season, had so much turnover, lost their head coach, lost some of their star players, even star players that weren't seniors. They've had to answer a lot of questions, and sure, they struggled out of the gate. But right now, they're coming off a 6-game win streak, and sure, this loss might put an end to that. But we have fought, we have tried everything, and we've seen so much success, and we're going to see so much success throughout this season. Again, our next game will be at Westminster. We only have 1 home game in our next 5. That's going to be against Chatham Glenwood on the 11th. That'll be just a week from today, actually. We have some conference rivals, though. We're going to be at O'Fallon on the 23rd. On the 25th, we're going to be at the Lancers. And right now, a conference squad that's 2-1 as there's a whistle. It's going to go to 2-2, but we have opportunity to make that a 4-2 record.
And that O'Fallon game that starts off on the 23rd starts a 5-game road streak for the Tigers. They got 5 games on the road. Again, they have 3 more home games here that we will be broadcasting on the EHS Broadcasting Network, and I do know that the boys have 6 games, so that means we got 9 more broadcasts together here, Zach.
Austin, I don't want to be too sentimental, but as a senior, I mean, are you counting that down?
Not necessarily. There is still baseball season, and I do
Right.
believe we will be broadcasting some volleyball games,
Yes.
which I am excited. I got a lot of friends on the volleyball team.
Yes.
Would be very excited to call some of their games.
And you do wonder, Zach, again, a 22-point lead for Alton 3 minutes to go. Are we going to see a bleeding clock for the rest of this game?
The Tigers are definitely going to do everything they can to try and get back in this game, but they might simply be out of time with 3 minutes to go, down 22. Especially with the looks they've been getting all game. It would be an absolute miracle if the Tigers could pull out a win here.
Neath immediately met with coverage over to Hockett. Double team, falls down, somehow gets to Mia Semis. Neath lays in the 2, makes it 54-34, 2:30 to go. Took too much time off the clock there. But Edwardsville Tigers still fighting here as Alton will lay it in for the 2, 56-34.
And on that last possession alone, it seemed like all the Tigers are confused. They don't know where to go with the basketball. And give enormous credit to this Redbirds defense. They have done a phenomenal job forcing a lot of turnovers. Some of those being errant passes by the Tigers, but a lot of them being just great turnovers. Great forcing of turnovers for this Redbirds defense.
So Austin, I know you played a little basketball in middle school. Walk me through what you think Coach Brian Young is going to be saying going into the locker room after this game.
It's a tough loss. Obviously, you want to beat the number 4 team in the nation at home. But they're just more athletic. Definitely don't want to hang your head too high or too low on this game. And if you look at the record, if you put their record out of the top 20 ranked teams, the Tigers right now sitting at like 9-4 on the season. That's an incredible record.
Neve gets her 11th of the night. Yeah, you put it best. This Tiger squad is a very good team with a very tough schedule.
And that's exactly what you want to see if you're Coach Brian Young. You want your team to be battle-tested. And also playing in the Southwest Conference, you're going to have 4 games against top 5 opponents in Alton and O'Fallon.
Shapiro's shot's no good. Good look there from Hockett. Maybe Alton's relaxing a little bit more on defense here. The Redbirds are very happy after that call. The crowd is still in it in a 24-point game like this.
This has been a phenomenal half by the Redbirds. Again, going into the half, they only had 22 points, and to put up 38 points to get your total to 60, and only 15 minutes of basketball, that's impressive. Definitely want to tip your hat to the Redbirds. They came out, played a great night on Alumni night, of all nights especially.
So right now we have 19 viewers, Austin, a pretty good audience for a night like this. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in. We wouldn't do it without you. We can't do it without you, so make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. Subscribers who are with the channel for more than 5 minutes are able to comment, maybe have a little bit of a dialogue with us during the game, as that's how we really have just so much fan interaction. It's an advantage we have with our medium. As the pass is just stolen, Alton still fighting all game. 63-36 here. Scores are a palindrome. Fun facts. Loses their dribble. As we're seeing in your catchphrase, Edwards calling off the dogs. Another steal, another fast break point, and Alton is just keeping their pedal to the metal, their foot to the gas. 65-36.
This is something I am not a huge fan of by the Redbirds. They know they have won this game. Edwardsville's called off the dogs. Yet the Redbirds still playing all their starters.
We do have a comment in the chat. Someone is professing their love for me. I really do appreciate it. As the 67-36 game, time is dragging out. Alton Redbirds will win. 4th-ranked team in the state makes their record 19-1. Edwardsville will go 9-10, and you got to think that's going to be a frustrating loss. Even though we played so well, so early, we just couldn't keep up.
And that final score is a little bit deviating. Again, they had 7 points there in the last minute when Edwardsville didn't have a starter on the court. But overall, Tigers played the best they could against a top-ranked opponent. Who would you give the player of the game to, Zach?
For Edwardsville, I think it's going to be Mia Semeth, leading scorer. Although Neath might have taken that leading scorer title away from Semeth, Neath and Semeth just played so well in a game like this. Obviously, Alton Redbirds, I'm giving it to Kyoko Proctor. Proctor was just unstoppable. But again, Edwardsville did all they could do. Maybe couldn't answer some questions there in that second half. But a very tough, a very hard-played game, and that makes me proud to be a Tiger.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in, folks. I've been Austin Yamnitz.
And I've been Zach Kennett. Thank you so much.
And thank you for watching.
No, I know. What was that? Apples. Oh, I am not going after you, bro. I am. I'm so hungry, I gotta go home.
With just under 2 minutes left in Alton, Edwardsville, 46, Alton 44.